Alrighty, so what I did is I actually went to Home Depot and I had them pre-cut. I'm going to go from memory 19 and 1/8, 20, 22, 19 and 1/8 on the half-inch plywood. This is what I ended up with. I used my table saw to cut them into whatever the dimensions here and here are, and went ahead and cut the entranceway in here. So one sheet of plywood will make 4 nuke boxes, and there's a little bit of scraps left over. I went ahead and hit them with my sander. I intend to put them together, and I've got a little cheap, inexpensive stapler from Harbor Freight that'll work well with 1-inch staples. Glue them together, paint them, and for 18 bucks and I don't know, maybe an hour's worth of time, you got 4 nuke boxes. Now, they're not super fancy, they're not going to last forever, but I think in the spring you get 3 or 4 years out of them. I think they're going to be good. So I'm not going to show you how to sand, and I'm not going to show you how to nail, because I think it's really kind of not important. But if I'm putting them together, find some tips, I'll add to this video. Frames laying around, and now's a good time to check the fit. But what we're going to end up doing is we're going to put a cleat across the top here so it'll hang, and the roof is just going to sit right on top of it. So these are not made to be beaten or bang around, but I think they're going to work fine. The frames are, I think, pretty tight. I think as far as the B space is going to be going, but I think as you build them, it's best to go ahead and check them. That's why you want to make sure all the stuff's square. I'm not so awful worried about gaps like that, because when I paint it, everything's going to go together. So what I've discovered is the easiest way to put these little cleats on is to kind of line them up here in the back and just kind of nail it there. And the same thing with the front here. So really simple, easy to make. Let me pop those on, and I'll show you what the finished product looks like. So this is it assembled. The tools that I used was really a table saw, a sander, and a staple gun. But what I'm going to do is I've got some spare paint and primer, exterior all-in-one paint. I'm going to paint them now. If I were going to use them like in a couple weeks, I would make sure they have that low VOCs. But this is November. You got December, January, February, March, a couple months. So the paint will have time to dry and seal and get all the vapors out of it. But I think, for $5, that's all you need. I think this is a perfect little nuke box. The only tools that I used were a table saw and a trim gun. Now I could have cut it out with like a skill saw, circular saw, but I know I can't cut straight lines, so it was just easier for me, and I had that. As you can see, I've got more to assemble, which is no big deal. And there's like the staples that I have and all my other junk that I have here. So simple nuke box. I think it's the way to go, and I will keep you guys posted. So I always wanted to be like one of those TV cooking shows, like where they put it in the oven and like 2.5 seconds later it's already done. So I guess through the power of YouTube I can be that person. But so this is one of the boxes. It's already painted. Tops on it. Frames, like I said, they fit in there just fine. But the cool thing about these boxes is that once they get set up, you just pull honey out of it. It's that simple. Get some bees, build one of these boxes, 2.5 seconds later, you get honey. I bet y'all wish you had some biscuits now, don't you?